In our entire solar system, the only object that shines with its own light is the Sun. The Earth and the Moon both revolve around the Sun, and both are illuminated by the Sun. When the Moon is illuminated by the Sun, it reflects the Sun's light back to us on Earth, and that's why we can see the Moon. If the Moon weren't illuminated by the Sun, we wouldn't be able to see the Moon, because it doesn't make its own light. Half of the Moon is illuminated by the Sun, and half is dark. However, from here on Earth, we see it as variously not illuminated at all, fully illuminated, or partly illuminated. Why? Because the Moon is orbiting the Earth. And depending on how the Sun, Moon and Earth are related to each other, it always looks different when viewed from Earth. What are the different phases of the Moon? In this animation, the Sun is on the left side, outside the illustration. So sunlight is illuminating the left side of both the Earth and the Moon. In any given month, we see 8 distinct phases of the Moon. In order, they proceed as follows. When the Moon is positioned between the Earth and the Sun, we face the dark side, so we cannot see the Moon at all. This is called the new Moon. As the Moon moves around Earth, we begin to see a sliver of the Moon getting sunlight. By day 4, this is called the waxing crescent. When the Moon, Earth and Sun are at a right angle, it has reached its first quarter. The reason this phase is called the first quarter is that the Moon has completed 1/4 of its orbit around the Earth. This phase of the Moon is also known as the half moon because only half of the Moon is visible. The next phase, at about day 10, we can see roughly 3/4 of the Moon. This is called the waxing gibbous phase. About 2 weeks after new moon, the Moon is now on the opposite side of the Earth to the Sun. The Moon's illuminated side is facing the Earth. That's why we can see the Moon completely illuminated during full moons. The Moon appears to be more than 1/2 illuminated by direct sunlight. Waning means that the illuminated surface of the Moon is decreasing. We see the third quarter moon as a half moon too. It is the opposite half as illuminated in the first quarter moon. The final phase is the waning crescent. In this phase, the Moon shrinks back to a thin crescent. The amount of sunlight reflecting off the Moon decreases until it's lost in the glare of the Sun, becoming the new Moon once again. Now you know that the 8 lunar phases are new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. This cycle of phases repeats every 29.5 days, which is the average time it takes the moon to travel once around the Earth and come back to the same position with respect to the sun. We encourage you to solve this quiz about today's lesson. You'll find a link in the description box. For more online resources, visit our website cerebralia.com/en. If you like this content, please share this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.